Hi everyone, welcome back to If My Heart Had Wings, The Twins Route, Episode 6. So in Episode 5, we hit some pretty hard feelings. So the problem is that Asa and Yoru are having trouble talking to Aoi, and it's because they both kind of like Aoi, and they're kind of afraid on how will I'll respond. And I think the other problem is that, well, if he picks one, how is the other one going to react? So Kanako had some idea where they both change positions, so Asa acts as Yoru and Yoru acts as Asa. And it went well initially, but then Asa as Yoru asked a pretty hard questions like, what do you think about Yoru? Or what do you think about me? And he gave a pretty not so good response. It's like, well, I like Yoru because she's smart and she's cute and is good with many things. And then for Asa, it's like, well, she's cute too. She's kind of like a little sister. And that made Asa upset. It's like, well, maybe he likes Yoru better because Yoru is more fit. She can do everything that I can't do. And that got Yoru or Asa upset. And during a typhoon, Asa hid herself away in the dock. And despite Yoru being negative about Asa in many different ways, she still cares about Asa and pleads for her safety. So now that Asa is back home, let's see how it goes from here.
遅いわよ、朝ちゃん。姉さん。
So when we got back to the Flying Fish Manor, the two of us were waiting for us. So I mean Kanako and Yoru.
はい、タオルどうぞ。
Oh, thank you. Kanako handed the towel to me and Asa, and we dried ourselves off. And they realized that we come home soaking wet. So you are both waiting for us.
心配だしね。葵くんすぐ帰ってくるって言ってたし、それにずぶ濡れのまま中に入られたら困るでしょ。姉さん！
So Yoru practically leapt onto Asa in a hurry to hug her. Okay, so we kind of see a more childish side of Yoru, so she really misses Asa and is really concerned about her safety.
ヨルちゃん！私、心配したのよ。こんな嵐の中戻ってこないし、どうしてそんな勝手なことヨルちゃん。ごめんね、ヨルちゃん。ごめんね。ねえ、何かあったの？朝ちゃんの目が赤い気がするけど。
So, a lot of things happened.
まあ、とりあえずお腹空いたからご飯にしない？
And once again, I'm hungry from Kanako. So you didn't eat without us?
そりゃ、ご飯はみんな揃って食べた方が美味しいでしょ？
That's true. I see. Well, thank you.
何もお礼をされるようなことはしてないわよ。それに、元はといえば、私のいらないおせっかいが災いの種だった気もするしね。
That might actually be the case.
なので、おあいこってことで。
So Kanako smiles ironically.
本当にごめんね、ヨルちゃん。
So you're like me too. If what Asa says was true. So what should I do now? So I was the type who usually just adjusted to other people's opinions. And because I had no self-confidence and I was afraid more than anything of people hating me. And the only reason I got decent grades on tests was because I studied really hard and tried to appear smarter than I was. I didn't want to look bad to others. I had no confidence that I'd be okay if that happened. But that was what limited me. I appeared to have great manners and to be really cooperative, but that was just a side effect of my lack of confidence. I can't make up my own rules like Yoru does, or be upfront about what I want like Yoru does, or be strong like Yoru does. So strangers were jealous of my family money and hated me over things that didn't matter, and I wasn't strong enough to bounce back from their hatred. And at home, my own parents laughed at my ineptitude. Well, that's not nice. And no one, not even a stronger person than I or me, could ignore these twisted smiles. I simply wasn't at their level. Okay, so next day. So how is it now? By morning, the typhoon has passed and calmness returned to Kazegura. And school started at the usual time. And the soaring club also carried on as usual.
やっぱ一人いないだけでちょっと寂しいものね。
So Kotori suddenly mumbles her thoughts.
朝ちゃんいないとね。なんだか和まないよね。そうそう。朝は和み担当だものね。雰囲気がいまいち締まりすぎちゃうというか。
So Asa stays home from both school and club that day. And because of the rain last night, she caught a cold. Yeah.
最近よく頑張ってたからね。シミュレータも結構いじってるみたいだし。台風をきっかけにして疲れが一気に出たのかも。風と妹、お姉ちゃんにあんまり心配かけさせちゃダメよ。あんたが昨日行方不明になって、あの子ずいぶん心配してたんだから。そうですね。すみません。しかし夜ちゃん、あんな日に本屋に出かけちゃうなんて。そんなに欲しい本があったの？はい。閉まっていて買えませんでしたけど。そりゃ本屋さんも開いてないわよ。台風だったら臨時休業してるもの。
That's true. So we thought it best not to tell Ageha and Kotori about the switch yesterday. Okay, so Kotori and Ageha don't know about Yoru and Asa switching each other. So instead, Yoru said that she'd gone to the bookstore to get a book she had been wanting. So it's basically some cover-up. And I said that since I knew she wanted a new book, I'd gone to Wendy's to find her.
今後、台風の日は部屋でおとなしくしておくように。一応、あの寮に住んでるんだから、みんなに迷惑をかけないようにする義務があるんだから。昨日の件は、本当に謝罪します。すみません。今後は全処し、でも本当、心配かけないようにね。
It looks like Kanako's playing the game as well. It's like, well, okay, I'll hide the fact that I told you girls to switch roles. So Yoru was doing a great job putting up with all of this. And even though it wasn't her fault, she was acting as though it was, and apologizing to everyone.
昨日はありがとうございました、先輩。
Hmm?
いえ、改めてお礼を言っておこうかと。
Well, I didn't really do anything you need to thank me for, so don't worry about it.
そうですか。
So Yoru must have been thanking me for going out to find Asa, but that whole problem was partly my fault as well. And there was nothing for her to be concerned about. And I wonder if Asa's okay.
明日までに治ってくれるといいですけど。
Well, hopefully. So why don't we get her something on the way home? If she got a fever, she'd probably like some ice cream. Well, I don't think ice cream would be a good help for someone with a fever.
そうですね。姉さんも喜ぶと思いますが。
So Hargen Darch might be a good idea. And I still couldn't tell Yoru what I heard from Asa. That Yoru likes me. And there was no real need to tell Yoru anyways. And even if I did, I don't know what I would do next. But for some reason, it felt really bad to pretend that I don't know, even though I did.
私が買って帰りましょうか。先輩と買って帰ったことにして、後で一緒に渡せばいいと思います。
Huh? So are you going home already, Yoru?
はい。姉さんが心配ですから。
Okay. I see. She had seemed very upset.
葵くん、ちょっと早めに帰ったら？
So how about you go home early too? Huh?
葵くんも心配でしょ？朝のこと。
Yeah, I am, but what about the club?
大丈夫。葵くんの分は私が頑張っちゃうから。だから今日はお見舞いに戻ってあげて。
So I'll substitute for you.
悔しいけど、朝ちゃんは私より葵くんの方が喜ぶと思うんだよね。
So Kanako has showed up to the soaring club again today, and now she was recommending that I go home. And actually, the reason Kanako had given for showing up in the first place was to do Asa's share of the work. Okay. But still...
気にしない葵。先日の遅れもだいぶ取り戻したし、今から今日の分抜けるくらい大丈夫。
But then again...
Kanakoさんだっているわけだしね。
But then again, Kanako's not part of the club, so it's kind of bad to have her help us.
そうそう。だから朝担当の葵くんは今日は黙って看病に戻ればいいんじゃないかな。
I'm in charge of her.
だって最近いつもあの子と一緒にいるじゃない。だから担当？違う？
So it's kind of like that. Wrong? Well, I guess. I suppose we are together a lot. But the words in charge still sounded a little strange.
そう。だから、ほら、妹と一緒に寮に戻って、ね。
I see.
だいたい、そんな心ここにあらずみたいな感じで作業されても効率望めないし。心配なんでしょ？ね。
Well, so it's true that I was worried about Asa, but that's not what I've been brooding about. But I couldn't exactly explain either. Okay, well then, so I'll take your advice and go back. So thanks for finishing up here.
ああ、任せとけ。
So don't worry, leave it to us. Okay, let's go then, Yoru.
はい。
Okay, so now they're going home, and instead of going straight back to the dormitory, we head to Wendy's first to pick up Hargen Darch for Asa. So, on the surface, everything seems normal, but I could tell that things were actually extremely uncomfortable as they are. So, Yoru likes me. But what was Asa said really, really true? So after all, Yoru certainly didn't usually act like she likes me.
先輩は
Well, is today different? Yes?
良かったんですか？私と二人で買い物なんて。
So what do you mean? Well, I have nothing against shopping with you, Yoru.
気まずかったりしないんですか？
So why?
なんとなく。先輩、今日はそんな感じがしただけです。
So apparently Yoru is able to tell how confused and awkward I feel. Well, it's okay, so there's nothing to worry about, and there's no reason for you to think there is, right?
じゃあ、いいんですけど。
Well then. Okay, so they're in the shopping or the grocery store. So let's see, one strawberry, one super spicy Szechuan vanilla, and one chocolate chip, please. And order one ice cream for each of us. So the chocolate chip was for me, strawberry is for Yoru, and the spicy one, vanilla, is for Asa. So I got the ice cream and went back to where Yoru is waiting. So sorry to keep you waiting, so let's go.
Hi.
Okay. So after collecting Yoru outside of the shop, we headed for the exit from Wendy's. We didn't have any other errands, so we were going to go home. Straight home. They make really strange flavors, don't they?
麻婆バニラですか？すごいですよね。
Okay, so the Mapo flavored vanilla ice cream. So, vanilla that's spicy. That's an interesting flavor. And I wonder who even wants that stuff.
姉さんとか？
I'm sure it might be one of those like limited flavors. Like you can pick it for a limited time before they take it off. Oh, right. So Yoru was the one who told me that Asa likes this flavor. So have you ever eaten it, Yoru?
まさか。姉さんに勧められましたけど、遠慮しておきました。
Well, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to try it either.
姉さんは組み合わせ的には塩とバニラみたいなものだって言い張ってましたよ。
So there's no way that could be true.
辛さと冷たさの調和とも言ってました。
Well, that was interesting. And it seemed that Asa had a different point of view. So I just remembered, and Yoru knows about Asa's feelings for me too. And if it was true what Asa said, she still likes me. And of course, she knew that I knew about Asa's feelings. So what now? I wonder how Yoru felt about being with me now. Was it uncomfortable? And thinking of it that way, maybe I was really bothering Yoru by walking home with her.
そういえば先輩。
So what's up?
結局姉さんのことどうするんですか？
Yeah, of course. She'd be wondering about this. So my response to Asa, my answer, I had to give an answer to her kiss.
私は姉さんが好きだから、姉さんを悲しませるようなことはしてほしくないと思っています。
Okay?
姉さんは多分、本気で葵先輩のことが好きだから。
So Asa likes me. And given how Asa was acting yesterday, I was sure that was true. So Yoru was telling me that she wanted me to date her sister, whom she cared about. But, so if I did, what about Yoru? If Yoru really did like me, like Asa said she did, and if Asa had really done what she did yesterday because of knowing about Yoru, that's a mystery. That wouldn't be enough for Asa.
どうしてですか？
Well, so I made up my mind. So, brooding didn't suit me. I'd always preferred to meet problems head on. I wasn't such a skilled guy that I could take care of everyone's sensitivities or choose the most discrete course of action. So I just...
Aoi senpai?
So, Yoru, what do you think about me? Okay, so now he asks the same question that Asa asked him in episode 5. So yesterday Asa told me that you like me too. There you go. I decided to just ask, so it won't hurt. So that's what I heard from Asa yesterday.
姉さんがそっか姉さん気づいてだからあの時もあんなことを聞いてきて
So she asked that question, okay? So Asa is also unsure of what to do. She was so confused that she went and did what she did.
そんな
So Asa said she thought that you were more suitable for me. Okay? So Yoru? Maybe Yoru has been keeping her feelings to herself for Asa's sake. Okay. She really did care about her sister.
姉さんらしいわね本当に
Well, I guess that's how she is. And I think Yoru's trying to dodge the question herself.
姉さんは不安定なんです私なんかと違って
Yeah, I can see that. And that's why she did what she did yesterday.
でもそういう姉さんが私は尊敬できます名前聞いてもいいですか先輩
Sure.
私あまり苦労したことがないんですよ努力はするけどそれを苦労だと思ったことはないですだから私にはわからないんですよ人並みの苦労みたいなのが家に恵まれて才能にも恵まれて私って本当に何でもできちゃうんです天才ですから
So you really are conceited, Yoru.
生意気を語るって言ったじゃないですか
Yeah, you did. But I didn't think she meant it quite that much.
優秀な家系に生まれた盆栽出来損ないそれが姉さんに対する親族の反応です
Eh? Say, worthless, Asa?
姉さんは親族に大変受けが悪いですみんな心のどこかで姉さんのことをバカにしている血筋がすごいのに凡人が生まれてしまったとね
So I like how Yoru kind of sees some of the positives about Asa. It's like, well, my relatives don't, but at least I'm still around to help Asa up.
親族にはバカにされそれでいて周囲には疎まれる
And
学園でもご近所でも
the same applies to
金
other
持ち
people.
だから優秀な家系だから金持ちってそんなもんです
So at school and in the neighborhood, because she's rich and in a good family, that's what comes with being rich. Well, that's...
姉さんが血の滲むような努力をしてテストで高得点を取っても家にしてみればそれは当然その上でなぜか友達には疎まれちゃうわけです生まれた世界が悪かったんですよ姉さんは
Wow. Well, I know already that rich kids were looked down upon with jealousy by the people around them, okay? I suppose the standards were higher in an extraordinary family like theirs.
ちょっとだけ回り道してもいいですか
Detour?
少しだけですもう一度風車の丘の方にこのまま歩くと寮にたどり着いちゃいますから保冷剤いただいているからアイスはすぐには溶けませんよ
So don't worry if you are afraid that the ice cream will melt soon. I see. Okay. Okay, so why go back to Windmill Hill? So we went back the way we come back towards Windmill Hill.
でも姉さんはそういうものに押しつぶされないように必死に生きていた。逃げることなく、わがままになることもなく、ぐれることもなく。私には才能があります。姉さんにはありません。であれば、私よりも姉さんの方が苦労してると思いませんか？
So Yoru was unbelievably frank, saying just what she thought with no excuses. She was completely straightforward.
姉さんは強いです。人に嫌われてもいいと諦め、人との交流を無意味と諦めた私なんかよりよほど。姉さんなりの精一杯で姉さんは頑張っています。私はそんな姉さんを本当に尊敬しています。姉さんはいろんな枷と戦いながら必死にもがいているんです。自分を生かすために必死に。そんな姉さんを尊く思わないわけがないじゃないですか。
Well, Yoru?
私、安心できるんですよ。姉さんってそういう私に持ってないものをたくさん持ってるから。姉さんの近くにいれば私は私になりすぎずにいられる。私は放っておくとどんどん生意気になっちゃいますからね。
So Yoru is already much more conceited than I thought. And also perhaps more mature.
でも姉さんは私が思っていたよりは弱かったのかもしれません。弱くてもっともっと人間で。分かってましたよ、私がほのかに嫉妬されていたのは。でもそんなの凡人は誰だって抱くものじゃないですか。でもそんなわけのわからないことしでかしちゃうまで姉さんが思い詰めちゃってたなんて。
Well, meaningless.
わけがわからないですよ。私に負けそうとか私の方がいいとか全部言い訳じゃないですか。手に入れたかったものを手に入れられなくなって、手に入れる勇気もなくなって拗ねているだけです。
Well, that's I suppose that might be a bit true in Asa's case.
わかりました。
Okay, I understand. So Yoru nods as though she just decides something. So what is it?
先輩がそれでよければこの恋は姉さんに譲ってあげようと思ってました。でも少し気が変わったかもしれません。
Okay?
先輩、少しだけ下を向いてもらえますか？
So down. I did so, and then she squeezed up against me. And then I felt something warm against my lips. Okay, so we see Yoru giving Aoi a kiss too. So this was Yoru's lips. And I couldn't help but make a noise. I was confused by this unexpected kiss, by this expression of her feelings.
好きです。
And when I looked down, I saw Yoru standing on her tiptoes to kiss me. And she confessed her feelings to me.
そうです。私、先輩のこと好きです。だから、告白です。
So Yoru confessed to me. First Asa and now Yoru.
この恋の行方をどうするか、きちんと選んでください。そうするのが姉さんのためだと、私は思いますから。
And she gave me a choice.
姉さんを選んでくれても、私を選んでくれても、両方を振ってくれても、何でも構いません。先輩、答えを出してください。
Okay, so we also see that Yoru also likes Aoi, and even though she just wanted to help Asa out. He's like, well, now that you mention it, I admit that I like you too. So I'll let you decide which one of us you want. So he visited Asa's room, bringing the ice cream.
先輩に、ヨルちゃん。ただいま。体調はどう姉さん。
So are you feeling better?
もうだいぶ良くなったよ。熱も下がったし。
So he brought you something.
お土産ですか?
So Asa sounded nervous. I hadn't seen Asa since dinner last night, after I brought her home. So it was the first time we'd seen each other since she confessed her feelings to me.
ハーゲンダッチのアイス。しかも激辛麻婆バニラ味だ。
Oh, so you already said that you liked that flavor.
ありがとう、ヨルちゃん。
So, true.
どういたしまして。
So Asa opened the lid of her ice cream and slapped it into with a attached spoon, and then she brought it to her mouth.
冷たくて辛くて美味しい。そういえば早かったですね。
So we were worried about you, and the club seemed to be wrapping up pretty quickly, so we came home a little early.
私、また皆さんに迷惑を。
No. Trouble. No trouble at all.
でも。そうよ、姉さん。姉さんは気にしすぎだって。
So yeah, there was nothing wrong. So Asa looks troubled. She must be confused about what she was going on.
今日は皆さん元気でした?
So how about everyone else? Well, they're okay. All fine.
みんな元気にグライダー作ってたわよ。でも
So what else was wrong?
姉さんがいないと物足りないって先輩方はぼやいてたわ。
So it did kind of feel strange that you were absent.
だから早く元気になりなさい、姉さん。
Well then. Well, I'll be going. So as long as I'm home early, I may as well work extra hard on tonight's dinner. So I gotta make a lot of food to give Asa energy so she can get better.
ありがとうございます、先輩。
So take care. So I went back to my room. And Asa would probably be too nervous around me to really rest. So I decided to eat my ice cream in my own room. Okay. Or rather, that was my excuse.
先輩、答えを出してください。
The truth is, well, it was a little hard for me to be with them right now. It made my stomach hurt and my chest tightens up. So what should I do then? What should I say to them? So, Asa or Yoru? Twins and complete opposites. And my precious underclassmen. I had to give them an answer. So, looking back at the twins,
私らしくないことしちゃったな。どうしてあんなこと言ってしまったんでしょうね。認めたつもりはなかった。先輩に対するこれなんて、恋なんて気のせいだと思っていた。でもきっとこの思いは、姉さんがお風呂に行ったらすごく気が楽になっちゃった。気まずくて息が詰まりそう。姉さんはまだ私が先輩にあんなこと言ったのに気づいてないだろうけど、 こんなの初めてよね。認めるしかない。
So I still couldn't think of an answer. Then that's Aoi. I was still searching for one as I cooked and all through dinner. And now, as I sat in the bath, I was still brooding. So, when was the last time I spent so long thinking over one thing? So, it must have been last year when I was regretting not being able to reach morning glory. And before that, it was the accident. This is no good. I muttered to myself. I am not used to all this brooding. During dinner, Asa and Yoru and I had only spoken to each other one or two or three times with just a few forced phrases. So, hello, how's dinner? It's good. Okay. I was so nervous. So what now?
ダメだ。部屋にいても息が詰まりそうだよ。夜ちゃんとも話しにくいし。
Okay, so while I was in the bath, it looks like Asa is walking in.
自業自得とはいえ、どうしてこんなことに。もう、私のバカバカバカバカバカ。
Hello? So why is Asa coming in here? It turns out this was definitely my time to be in the bath, and I put up a sign on the door. So, in use. So why? I think Asa didn't read it. She just walked in.
こんなんだから私って嫌いなのよ。昔からずっと。どうしてこんなへっぽこに生まれちゃったんだろう。
And I wonder if he could have locked the door, or maybe he couldn't.
何やっても大したことなくて、家族はみんな立派なのに。すぐ変なドジもしちゃうし。変なドジとか。
My clothes were even in the changing area. How could anyone make such an idiotic mistake? And now Asa sees Aoi in the bath. No. Well, that's what I want to know. That's my line right now. So it's my turn to use the bath. Wait, really? So I was Asa in the bathroom with me. Wait, there were clothes out there, right? So in the changing area, my clothes. Oops, I didn't notice it until now. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, Asa. And Asa ran out of the bathroom, her face bright red. So I've been hoping to have a long think in the bathtub, but I hadn't been able to think at all. Okay, so this is the Mononoke version, but in the original Japanese version, if I remember right, Asa was naked when she walked past that door and saw Aoi still in the bath. And it kind of made a more embarrassing moment for Asa. So anyways, so I never imagined that Asa would accidentally come into the bathroom. And after I got out, I left the hot water for Asa and told her that the bath was free, so she was probably in there now. So if I remember, they also did the same thing to Kotori when Kotori had trouble getting into the bath. And even though Kanako told Kotori to use the showers, Kotori refused. And when she went to the bath, she needed help, and I always had to go in and help Kotori. And that was like a long time ago in the common route. So my mind kept rewinding the film of Asa trembling but not quite covering herself. And the image was taking over my whole mind. Well, this is no good. I was trying to decide what to do about Asa, but all I could do now was picture her naked, and I could not think at all. But I really didn't need to make it a decision. Things were already bad enough as they were. But really, what should I do?
お、悩める少年発
And Kanako intercepts Aoi. Yes? Kanako?
見。どうしたの？お風呂上がりにこんなところで考え事？
So, what's about you, Kanako? So, what are you up to?
私は星を見に来たのよ。好きなのよ、星を見るの。
So maybe rude of me, but I was surprised to hear that.
空はいいわよね。葵くんたちが目指している空と色は違うけど、私も空が好き。
So why do you like the night sky, Kanako?
綺麗じゃん。
So she answers so casually. So as simple as that?
私は何かと深く考えないからね。綺麗だから好き。それでいいじゃない？
Well, I think that's very like you.
いろいろ考えすぎるとね、こんがらがっちゃうことってあるじゃない？
Okay? That may have been what happened to Asa yesterday.
だから考えなくて済むくらい綺麗な空が好き。心が揺り動かされて惹かれるから。
That's kind of unexpected coming from you.
何よそれ。嫌味？
So any problems? No, not at all. I guess she was just a little more of a romanticist than I thought.
人は考える生き物だから、理屈抜きに好きと思えるものに心動かされちゃうのよ。恋なんてのもそうかもしれないね。
Love. Just like the sky, love didn't need a reason. So is there someone you love, Kanako?
いないかな。
Not really. I see. I thought she might be able to tell me something that might work as an example, but I guess no.
でも少しくらい相談に乗れるかもよ。ほら、女だし、先輩だし。
Huh?
葵くんは多分そういうので悩んでるんだよね。
So, wait, how did you?
見てればわかるよ。葵くんと朝ちゃんと夜ちゃん。
I can see it. So basically, I can see it. So you with Asa-chan, Yoru-chan. So apparently Kanako had figured out what I was worrying about. After all, Kanako is close with both Asa and Yoru.
そうだね。あの二人は正直甲をつつけがたいよね。
And you had to pick one of them. Well, I'm not exactly comparing them to each other.
まあ、例えばの話よ。お姉さんはどっちも可愛いと思うからさ、両方大切だと思っちゃう。
Yeah, that's right. So they were both important to me, so I couldn't make a decision.
そうだね。考えすぎずに決めてしまったら？多分ね、今葵くんは二人を傷つけない方法を必死に模索してるような気がするの。一番いい妥協案とか、一番正しい結果とか、そういうものってね、きっとないから。もしかしたらあるかもしれないけど、多分選べないものだから。だからね、葵くんは悩みすぎない方がいいと思う。
So don't worry about it too much. She was right. I've been trying to think of how to solve this problem. But surely there was no point in thinking of it that way. So that's why I should just take responsibility for my own decisions and decide what I really wanted.
ってところでどうかな？
So if it helps, I think.
こういうのってダラダラやると傷が深まるからね。葵くんも男だったららしく前のめりでやってやれい。
So you're talking like it's not your problem.
したことだもん。
Well, it's not. But then again, Kanako's giving some helpful advices to Aoi. So she had a point. And maybe she was right again.
あ、それで何か失敗したり困ったことあったら、また私に相談してくれてもいいから。むしろ私もそうしてくれると嬉しいから。ね。
Okay? So, thanks, Kanako.
こう見えても先輩だからね。
So don't forget, I'm your senpai. She didn't tell me what to do or give me the answer to this difficult problem. But Kanako's words really made me feel better and helped me make my decision. So she was right. It is up to me. I had to come up with my own answer. So I had to think about this and to wonder, but just brooding wouldn't get me anywhere. I had to really go for it and choose the answer that felt right to me. And so we get to decide what I was going to do, so whether or not he'll choose Asa or none. So, right now, it's my first time going through this in the English version, so the don't choose either is locked, and I have to go with the first option, Asa first. And for me, it kind of feels like the Asa portion is kind of like a fork for this twins route. So it stems off from here and has its own ending, whereas the don't choose either is more like the actual true ending for how the twins route should end. So let me just start the Asa portion for a little bit. Okay. So I wasn't used to this type of thing at all. No one has ever confessed their love to me before, and I had no experience with communicating about my feelings. So I didn't know what the right answer was, but I prepared the answer that felt right to me.
どうしたんですか？こんなところに呼び出して。
Okay, so he's gonna tell Yoru, well, I'm sorry, I want to go with Asa. Well, it's just, I have something to say to you. I asked Yoru to meet me outside. And because there was something I had to tell her.
まあ、おおむね予想はついてますけど。
Well, I know what you're gonna say. So, that's right. So, the reason I called Yoru outside was... Well, I'm sorry. Okay, so he's going to turn Yoru down. I had to apologize to her. I had to tell Yoru exactly how I felt.
まあ、予想はついてましたから。
So she didn't look sad or upset, but answered matter of factly. I guess all my concerns for not hurting her feelings has been my own overreaction.
だって先輩、ロリっぽいですし。
Well, I guess. Huh?
私のようなツンツンしたタイプより、もっと気立てのいい姉さんのようなタイプを好きになると思うんです。
Well, I don't have a Lolita complex or anything. Anyways, if that's what you think, you yourself are wrong.
私はロリっぽくないですから。可愛げがなくてとんがってます。 精神的ロリとは相性が悪いです。
So psychologically, what the heck?
まあとにかく分かってたってことです。
Well, Yoru seemed to be looking somewhere far away. I'm sure it's true that she already guessed. And her eyes were in the clear and seemed focused on something distant.
でもよかった。先輩が姉さんを選んでくれて。言いましたけど、私姉さんのことが大好きですから。
Yoru? She smiled at me as she answered.
だから謝らないでください。先輩は何か悪いことをしていますか？
So, yes, I done something wrong. I hadn't noticed the feelings and I played with their hearts. And that was such a pathetic way for a guy to act. It had to be wrong. But still, well, that's it. So at a time like this is what I should do. So thank you for your answer, Yoru. I should be grateful for Yoru's feelings. I should accept her kind response.
一つだけ聞いてもいいですか？
So what's the one thing?
どうして先輩は姉さんを選んだんですか？
So why her? Well, so why had I chose to accept Asa's love? Hard to answer. Well, I guess I just couldn't leave her alone.
守ってあげたいってことですか？
Well, I guess I want to look after her, or I don't know.
それとも同情？先輩は姉さんを弱いと思っていて付き合うと。
Well, I don't think that. Actually, I think Asa is strong. Well, it's not that I thought she was weak. I didn't want to date her so that I could protect her. It was a pity. Well, not that, but still. So she's not great at dealing with problems, and sometimes she's clumsy, and maybe she's not as impressive as you are, but still, she has her charm. Because of that, seeing how she's fought to overcome all sorts of things up to now, just being into her gives me confidence as well. Okay. And I want to keep watching her. I don't really understand it myself, but I want to be as close to her. That's right. I want to be near her. I want to be close to her and see the world the way she sees it. And that's how I feel. So it's just like what you said, Yoru, that Asa seems to give you something that you don't have within yourself. Well, that's right. And it's because Asa is the type of person that she is that makes me feel that she provides me with something important. Although, all of this is probably just my own rationalization. I think I simply love her. I love Asa. I felt that was all there was to it, really. And no matter what, I just love Asa.
やっぱ嫌い、先輩のこと。
Fine. I hate you. Huh?
私の大切なものを取ったからですよ。二つも。
Well, I'm sorry. Wait, two? I think it's one Asa, two Aoi.
姉さんと私の恋心と。
Okay, yeah, the heart, so confession.
片方はもう返してもらうことにしましたし、姉さんだって先輩のものにする気はないけど。
Yoru?
ま、そもそもこれって初めから答えは決まってたんですけどね。仮にもし先輩が私のこと好きって言っても、私には姉さんのことを放って先輩と付き合える自信はない。つまり 先輩に告白されても私は先輩を振っていたということです。だからぶっちゃけ私は振られていませんよね。
So what are you talking about? Yoru wasn't being very logical. But if that was the case, if she would have turned me down anyways, if I thought about it that way, maybe I'd feel better. Or maybe not. But for some reason, what Yoru had to say made me feel just a little relieved.
とにかくそういうことなんですよ。分かったらさっさと中に戻ってください。
Okay, so are you going back in?
私はもう少しここにいたいんです。だからさっさと戻ってください。姉さんにも伝えることがあるでしょ。今だったらまだ姉さんは起きているはずです。
Okay, yeah. I did as Yoru said and turned to go back inside the dormitory. Okay, I get it. She's giving me time alone with Asa. Okay, thank you, Yoru.
いいから戻る。
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. So in the next episode, we're gonna see what Aoi says to Asa now that he has decided to go with Asa. And I can kind of see that Yoru is a little bit upset, like, well, I'm good, I'm perfect, I make a lot of achievements, and this is a big lose for me, given that Aoi has decided to go with Asa instead of me. And also, he's going to take Asa away despite me caring so much for her. But then again, I can trust Aoi or Senpai to take care of Asa. So it was kind of interesting to see that Yoru does admire Aoi, and even though she's straightforward, when it comes to this, she holds back a little bit. So anyways, we're going to see how the Asa fork goes, and what's going to be like if Aoi did choose the don't confess to anyone, which would lead us to the true ending for this twins route. So with that in mind, I'll see you in next episode.